Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us. Gauteng Social Development Department has unveiled the Nansi Shower project at Wembly Stadium in Turfoentein, which aims to provide dignity, hygiene and support for homeless individuals through outreach initiatives. To talk more on this is MEC for Social Development, Agriculture, Rural Development as well as Environment, Mbali Hlophe. MEC, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. So the Nansi Shower initiative has been welcomed by many, with others including some homeless people criticizing it as well. The initiative in particular, they say that hygiene is the least of a homeless person's concerns. They need food, warm clothes in winter, assistance to get off drugs, and the very big one, shelter. But of course, in the absence of the department's voice beyond the criticism, such criticism can gain prominence. So please take us through the intention behind this initiative and the other tools to address the broader issues faced by the homeless.
Thank you, and hello to all your listeners. Well, firstly is to indicate that we had the launch of this just on Friday, and it was just amazing how it was welcomed by the homeless themselves. The only time that we've heard of criticism was through EWN, and we still don't know who are the individuals that are saying that this thing is not worth, it's not something that is required and so forth. But what I can indicate is that anybody who criticizes this is looking at it simply from an isolated point of view, and that's not what these showers are about. Firstly, these showers are part and parcel of the broader work that we are providing for the homeless, and that is why we have aligned these mobile showers together with our NPOs that are dealing with our homeless shelters, because it's part of the broader work that is taking place, and we utilize them as part of the catchment for us to be able to attract homeless individuals, so that as they are coming through, whether to come and collect the warm meals as we have been doing, we've now added in these warm showers. So when these are situated within the open spaces where they generally reside, or in the parks and so forth, they really serve in enhancing the catchment area for us to be able to attract as many of the individuals that are homeless, because as you know, they are nomadic, so which means they move around quite a lot. But through the warm meals that we're providing, these showers, our social workers are on site and with also the NPOs, and they're able to engage with them and be able to transfer them to the various homeless shelters that we have, and also to reunify them with their families where they are able to go back. And if there are issues, we're able to work with them and get them back on their own feet through our skills development programs and so forth. So as I'm indicating, it's not an isolated program. It's really part of a broader work that we're doing.
I'm glad, though, that MEC, you were quick to concede that if viewed in isolation, there could be those that would criticize, because a number of people just basically said, oh, mobile showers, what else would homeless people need beyond just focusing on hygiene? But now that we have you in studio and we understand that it's part of a broader program, it creates that clarity. But then there's the question by some that many centers provide homeless with food and showers, and beyond that they even have laundry services where most of them could take the shower and then put their own clothes in the laundry and be able to take new, fresh, cleaner clothes that would have been donated by others. What would you say to those that have felt that is perhaps the better solution as opposed to a mobile type of a solution?
Absolutely, and they wouldn't be incorrect, and that's why we're saying it's part and parcel of the broader work we're doing. That's why these mobile showers are given to NPOs that are holding our homeless shelters, because we want to be able, so if you think about it, not a lot of them, so if a person is coming from another province and they land here, like one of the individuals that we're dealing with on the day who came and gave their testimony, young guy who says, I'm from out of this province, I came here, I couldn't afford rent anymore, I ended up on the street. So if you have this and someone is on the streets, you're able to interact with them because they know that, okay, there's a place where they're providing warm food, I can get a shower, let me find out more. And when they are there and they're receiving those services within the parks where they may find them and so forth, or the open space, they're able to get more information of where now there's shelter, where they can be situated and how we can help them, our skills development programs and so forth. So that's why I'm really saying and emphasizing that it's not an isolated program, and that's why we really are using it as part of the catchment area. And if anybody understands what a catchment is, it's an area that we have designated and are creating so that we're able to get as many and attract as many of them as possible, because they are nomadic. And we are trying to appeal to that nature of their nomadicness where they're moving around a lot, but to find ways of how do we attract them to come through so that we're able to provide them our services.
Then to the workings of the mobile shower. Help us visualize it. How many cubicles are there? Does it have adequate privacy for the two genders? And I suppose there is an office in between the cubicles because that's where most of the information would be given.
Absolutely. So how they function is that they are two cubicles, essentially, mobile showers, and they get transported daily. So that was one of the other concerns that people had, because they were saying, okay, we like the idea, but is it going to remain there? Is it going to be stationed? No, they won't be stationed within the parks because they could easily be vandalized. So they are transported, and that's why they're mobile. So they're transported there, and there's also another cubicle that's also mobile. It's a mobile office, and that's where our social workers would be situated. And what this then helps us to do is to be able to attract them so that they're able to come and utilize them. And yes, they are designated. There's a female side and there's a side also for males. What we've also done is that as they change, because you don't want them to shower and then they get into the same dirty clothing again, they leave their clothing there, and even the dirty towels, the NPOs, because they are already running the homeless shelter and they've got their laundromats, they're able to take that clothing, get it washed, and be able so that it's able to be reused again. And because we're also working with great donors that have come through, we're also appealing to a lot more out there to say, if you've got your clothing that you're no longer utilizing, to the corporates and so forth, come through and donate as many as possible, because it goes such a long way. I mean, you can imagine when you come back home from a long day, the first thing you want to do is to take a shower, just to cool down. And it has the same effect for them, but it's even greater because they've not been able to have access to water for the longest time, and especially to be able to wash. So it does help in that sense, and there are those 4 cubicles that are designated, and it is written on them which one is for males, which one's for females, and it's absolutely secure. But like I say, because it is a mobile facility where it is attached to our social workers and the NPO, so daily they are there to make sure that they're able to man them, but importantly, clean them so that we're able to keep the hygiene in place.
MEC, thank you very much for joining us and offering that clarity to arrest any confusion on this particular matter. That was Mbali Hlophe, Gauteng MEC for Social Development, Agriculture, Rural Development and Environment.